I've got 2 words for you. Dan Ballard. Yo, Dan Ballard. Wow. What he did at the end was simply incredible. That block was monstrous. That was straight from the school of John Terry. That was straight from the school of Nemanja Vidic. That was straight from the school of Steve Bruce, Tony Adams. Yo, he put his body on the line to make sure Sunderland walk away from the Stadium of Light with a point. Wow. Everything that guy does, right, is with brute force. He doesn't do anything subtly. He puts his head on it. Boom. He puts his foot through it. Boom. Anything he does is monstrous. It's like the Juggernaut from the X-Men. You feel him coming. Pause. You feel him breaking down walls. And his goal, the strike on that, like the way he just powers past Declan Rice, bangs the ball in with such force and power. Honestly, I really like this guy, bro. I really like this guy. He's a real old school English centre-half, bro. Real old school English centre-half. I feel like there used to be so many of them in the game. Now, you look at the game of football now and, the centre-half sometimes are a bit lighter. They play on the ball. But he just feels like an old school centre-half. And do you know what? I think on the basis of the game, I don't think that's too much of a bad result. I don't think that's too much of an unfair result. I thought after Sunderland got the goal, first and foremost, I think Arsenal met their match physically today. I feel like Arsenal this season are powering through teams. You look at the corners, you look at just general performance with Declan Rice and these guys. They're powering, Gabriel, powering through teams. But Sunderland today with Mukiele, with Siddiqui, with Granit Xhaka, bro, the whole team, Ballard, the whole team were physical today. They competed with Arsenal in the first half especially. Now, when they got their goal, all of a sudden, as Premier League teams seem to do, they got their goal and they just decided, you know what? That's enough of me. We're not playing anymore. That's enough of us. The fear kicks in because you're playing against Arsenal. You're playing against, right now, the best team in the country. The fear kicks in. Can we compete? Do we really believe in ourselves? The doubt kicks in. Arsenal started growing into the game, growing, because it wasn't the same type of game it was in the first half where Sunderland were competing. Then the second half, Arsenal started playing. And eventually you knew a goal was going to come. Enzo Laffi, listen, of all the players in the team, he's the lightweight of the team. I'm not sure what he was doing, thinking, listen, if you see Caicedo or Declan Rice within a 10-yard radius and you are back to play, get the ball away, release it, hoof it, send that ball to Rosed, because these men are like animals. They're like dogs. They're like a dog when they smell a piece of raw meat. Declan Rice was all over him like a rash. Boom, gets the ball, puts it through to Bukayo Saka, goal. Those are the breakthroughs Arsenal are going to need at times because teams are just going to come and defend against Arsenal all game. That is just the way it is. That is the way it is when you play against Arsenal. Arsenal face the lowest block in the Premier League. So they are going to need moments like that. And that was a good press by Declan Rice, a good press by Arsenal as a team. And then from there, you felt it was inevitable. You felt like Arsenal were going to go on and win this game because the pressure kept mounting and mounting and mounting. Zubimendi hit the bar, had a close shot as well. Saka had a chance. It just kept going and going and going. You thought to yourself, at some point it's going to happen. And the thing is, when I talk about teams that play a low block, the reason why the best teams are the best teams is because they have the best players. A lot of the times. When I'm talking about the best, coaching elevates you to a certain level to be a competitive football club. You can by a coach, he can make you competitive because he can shore up you defensively. He can coach your patterns in the first phase, in the second phase. He can make you tough to beat. He can control games. That is all down to the coaching of a manager, right? But to be the best, you need the player quality to match the coaching level 95% of the time, right? And you're going to need them individual moments from a Leandro Trossard. You're going to need individual moments from Saka's, from Moreno, who started up front today, from Eberiche Eze. You're going to need these moments. Because this is what Man City had. Man City at their best. Liverpool at their best. They were facing the lowest blocks in the league. But guess what? They had Mohamed Salah. They had Kevin De Bruyne. They had Aguero. They had Erling Haaland. They had David Silva. They had Mane. They had all these names that I'm mentioning, right? You at that end, you're going to need individual brilliance in that final third. And Leandro Trossard popped up with that moment. Now, I think Arsenal, where they do lack, is that I look at Arsenal, those names that I've mentioned, I look at Arsenal, and their best player is probably Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka is probably their best attacker. But for me, when you look at the names that I just mentioned for Liverpool, for City, it was a high level. And there was more than one. There was more than two. There was probably like 3, 4 that could contribute at a world-class level consistently every single week. You've got Bukayo Saka, who's coming back from injury and will need to provide them X-factor moments. So it was good today that Leonardo Trossard, or Leonardo... What's his name? Is his name Leonardo? Why do I always say Leonardo? Leandro Trossard popped up with a moment like that, but that is what you need. I've watched Man City plenty of times, Liverpool plenty of times, where they've got a moment like that. So a lot of times when I'm seeing people talk about, Arteta's football against the low blocks, no. The individuals are going to have to step up. The ingenuity is going to have to step up. Isn't that why Eze was signed? Isn't why that much money was invested into the attack? Okay, Gyökeres didn't play today. Of course, Noni's injured and stuff, but that is what you require. That is what you require. A lot of times people think it can just be the coaching. It's not down to coaching. I'm already on the internet and saying haram ball. How is this haram ball? How is it haram ball? I just don't get it. You look at the statistics. 67% possession, 6 shots on target, 16 shots, nearly double the passes. You need the individuals to find a way. And that's what Trossard did today. And Arsenal are going to need that a lot more this season, considering how teams are going to set up against them. It's just the way of the game. So there is going to be a lot of expectation on Saka. There is going to be a lot of expectation on Gyökeres, Trossard, Eze. I think right now, Eze, I'm looking at him in the same way I'm looking at Cunha a little bit at the moment. Eze and Cunha are signings who were Mavericks, or were the what's the word? They were Mavericks. They were the free spirit amongst the chaos in their teams. They were allowed to pop up in moments. They were allowed to, if they have a bad game, nobody's going to talk about it because they're the best player in their team. But now you're walking into a team which is established. You're walking into a team which is going for titles. Not necessarily Cunha, but you're now in a team where you're going to need to influence the game consistently. You're going to have to influence the game consistently, but also be the difference at the fine margin. Eze, we've seen do that at Crystal Palace. But again, Crystal Palace, the way they play the game, counter-attacking sometimes, it's a lot different to when you're playing in this kind of low block, methodical football that Arsenal play. So they're going to need more from him. I'm looking at him, and that's a Prem signing. That's a Premier League ready signing. That's why I have higher expectations for Eze, because I rate him. And I have high expectations for Cunha, because I rate them. Gyökeres is getting more heat on him, but he came in from another league. He's coming from the Portuguese league, and he gets a lot of heat on him. Not to say that he's been great, but Gyökeres himself, he's... how old is Gyökeres? Gyökeres is 27 years old. Eze is 27 years old as well. But he's walking into a league that he's familiar with. I expect a little bit more. I know when he signed, everyone thought that's the death of Odegaard. But I'll be honest, I don't think at this current moment, Eze has been an upgrade on Odegaard. I don't. Because I think Odegaard now, when he's lacking with his GA and creating chances, I think he's getting on the ball. He's more involved in the game. I feel like Eze is a little bit out of the game. When it's not going well. I think he's a little bit out of the game. Maybe that means he has to now move. Maybe he moves to the left-hand side. I don't know. Maybe he moves to the left, gets more of the ball on the left-hand side, can drift in. Maybe that might be the case. But I think so far, everyone expected him to just, That's it for Odegaard, especially after discussions on Odegaard's name. But I think, personally, he hasn't been an upgrade on him yet. And that's not to disrespect him. It's just my opinion. Yeah, just my opinion in this case. But I think for the final goal, Brobby, brilliant. Because often, you get in a physical battle with Gabriel, you lose. They were trying to protest for something. There was no foul there. Brobby did brilliant. Gabriel's head was so low as well. And Brobby, that battling with Gabriel to get that goal, the desire, the passion, the want for it was amazing. So I think credit to Sunderland. I think they actually played a really good game today. Was disappointed a little bit in the second half. Arsenal took the fans out of the game as well with how much they were dominating the game. But overall, I thought Sunderland did well, and that's all you can ask for a promoted team against a team like Arsenal. Now, guys, I must say, let me play you this clip because you guys on my channel, if you know what I said, I'm going to have to get it up. People. Let's get it up. I was just going about my business, right? So, we were talking about Arsenal's conceded record. Was scored the first goal against Arsenal. Look, we're talking about who's going to score the first goal against Arsenal. Let's look at Arsenal's fixtures coming up. If it goes and happens against Burnley, that is just going to be typical, right? So let's have a look. Slavia Prague. No, Burnley away. I'm sensing a clean sheet. Slavia Prague away. I'm sensing a clean sheet. Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. Isidore, what have you got for us? Can it be that game? You know what, guys? I'm going to put it to Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. I'm going to give them a goal. So it will be 9 games. The 9th game, Arsenal will concede. Let's see what happens. After that, let's go! Boy, listen, Arsenal conceding a goal is worthy of... They end up conceding 2. You know what they say about London buses? You wait for one so long, and then 2 come at the same time. You know what I'm saying? But I got that prediction right, people, so I think I deserve a round of applause, people. Come on. Give it to me. Arsenal finally conceded. And they have given... Now, listen, the way the Premier League goes, that's just the way it is. It's very close at the moment. But they are very lucky that this is the week they concede because they've conceded in they've dropped points possibly in the perfect time because Liverpool and City have each other. So their closest rivals, who will be their closest rivals, haven't actually capitalized. Both of them won't capitalize on this. So Man City, if they win, go to 22 points. So they'll be 4 points off Arsenal. And Liverpool will be 5 points off Arsenal. So it's still healthy for Arsenal, but you don't want City to start sniffing blood. You know what they call them? The shark team. So, boy, guys, like, share, subscribe, turn notifications on. Let me know what you think about that result. Let me know what you think about the game. Arsenal drop points to Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. It's your boy, CultureCams. Let's get to 60K. Road to 60K, people. Hey. Can there be a title race? I'm out. Peace.